Today, Carthage Athletics acknowledges the dedication, hard work, and achievements of the remarkable individuals who have contributed significantly to the success of our basketball program. First up is Margot Spear, accompanied by her parents, Nancy and Jim Spear. Majoring in social work, Margot treasures the bond she has formed with her teammates, especially the heartwarming tradition of Secret Santa every year. Post-graduation, Margot has her sights set on graduate school, where she intends to earn her master's in social work. Our next senior is Addison Evelyn, escorted by her parents, Holly and Lionel Evelyn. Majoring in business management, Addison cherishes the experience of playing the sport she loves alongside a family of teammates who push her to be the best version of herself every day. Addison's post-college plans involve pursuing a career in business management, where she undoubtedly will carry the lessons learned on the court into the professional arena. Next up is Dana Edwards, walking with her parents, Tara and Quinn Edwards. Majoring in athletic training, Dana reflects on the lifelong friendship she has cultivated with her teammates. Looking ahead, Dana plans to pursue her master's degree and embark on a career in athletic training at the collegiate or professional level. And last but certainly not least, Lauren Knight, who's accompanied by her father, Matt Knight. Lauren, majoring in psychology, has recently achieved significant milestones in her basketball career. This accomplishment is a testament to her talent, dedication, and perseverance on the court. Lauren finally reminisces about the enduring friendships she has forged with her teammates, especially during unforgettable overnight trips throughout her 4 years. Knight recently became the 26th student athlete in Carthage women's basketball history to surpass the 1,000 career points mark. As she looks forward, Lauren plans to attend graduate school to pursue a master's in mental health and counseling, and hopes to continue her basketball journey. Fans, let's hear it for our seniors. To Lauren, Addison, Margot, and Dela, Carthage Athletics extends our heartfelt appreciation for your dedication, passion, and contributions to Carthage women's basketball. Congratulations on your senior day, and may the Firebird spirit accompany you in all your future endeavors. Go Birds!
Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for NCAA Women's Hoops Senior Day at Carthage College in Kenosha, off the beautiful lakefront of Lake Michigan. The Titans come into town. They are leading the charge in the CCIW, tied for first at 11-2 overall. Alongside my broadcast colleague, Eric Elger and Peter Ferreri. Eric, as we see, Carroll 1, Illinois Wesleyan tied for 1, same overall, same CCIW. Carthage, that half game behind Elmhurst right now for the top 6 spots. Tough loss this week. A huge pivotal game here today.
Yeah, as you can see, both teams got a lot on the line here. Illinois Wesleyan trying to keep pace with their Carroll, and then again, like you said, Carthage trying to inch their way into that postseason tournament, and anything can happen there. So 2 big games for both these teams here, and you look at Illinois Wesleyan, really solid up and down. I mean, they're scoring 82 points a game and holding the opponents at 67 points, so a plus 15 margin. So they bring a lot of offensive firepower. So you can see second in the conference and top 3 in all categories. So where you think the difference might be made, can Carthage keep some of the electric Titans off the score sheet? You got Lauren Huber leading the way with almost 16 points a game. So,
well, and a huge one I want to point out, tip your hat, give a nod. Sawyer White right now, you want to talk about a career number 92 steals on the year. She has now set the standard. She is the Illinois Wesleyan career leader in a single season. There's still a lot of game to go. Last time they played, wasn't an outcome that the Firebirds would necessarily want. However, it's a different day. It's senior day at home. And that's the nice part about the parity of the CCIW. All the teams are so good. There's always a chance.
Especially, like you said, senior day, you got a little more fire in your belly, trying to send your teammates and best friends home with a home victory. And let's see if the home cooking for the Firebirds can make up for the deficit when they went on the road last time they played.
All right, we're going to take a timeout for the national anthem and introductions. Again, Senior Day. Welcome in to the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
See? Oh.
Good afternoon, student athletes, coaches, staff, and fans, and welcome to Tarble Arena for today's Senior Day Women's CCIW basketball game between the Illinois Wesleyan University Titans and your Carthage College Firebirds. At this time, please direct your attention towards the American flag at the north end of the arena. Entering photo coffin of Captain Frank Bavering, a former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag is a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Bavering, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country, and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. At this time, we ask that you please rise today and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem by the Carthage College Pep Band.
Just so you know, I'll keep the, we're muted. Okay. I'm going to keep the out-of-town scoreboard up just so we can reference it throughout the game.
A 5'8" sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois, number 2, Sawyer White. A 5'8" junior from Lombard, Illinois, number 5, Lauren Huber. A 5'6" sophomore from Lincolnshire, Illinois, number 22, Emma Harden. A 5'10" junior from Amboy, Illinois, number 23, Mallory Powers. A 5'10" junior from Geneva, Illinois, number 24, Kate Palmer. The head coach of the Titans is Maya Smith. Coach Smith is assisted by Brian Ersman and Chad Cusack. All right, Firebird fans, it's showtime!
Welcome into the broadcast. Starters announced: Spear, Knight, Thistle, Ebeling getting the start at the big position, and Mariana Morrissey. Senior Knight, and Ebeling getting the nod early on. They'll be wearing their home whites with red numbers and letters, black trim. As for the Titans, White, Huber, Bartage, Powers, and Palmer. A smaller lineup for Wesleyan, again on paper. But let's see where they decide to go with it. You have to remember, when you look at the likes of Mallory Powers, albeit listed at guard, still 5'10", coming away with it are the Titans in the visiting forest greens with white numbers and letters, black trim in their own right. Again, Titans tied for first in the conference standings. Carthage battling for that sixth and final spot. Eric, they started so hot in non-conference play, and early conference play just had a few hiccups. Not the time you want it to happen, battling some injuries. But again, shooters shoot. That one hard off the back iron. Spear comes away with it. At any point in time, if the defense finds its groove again, this could be a completely different scenario for the home Firebirds as they mishandled there after the possession.
Yeah, not what you're looking to see the first possession. You highlighted how this team forces a lot of turnovers, a lot of steals. There, unfortunate, gets the tip ball behind half court there. And yeah, you mentioned Carthage on a tough streak here, but I mean, it's something we always talk about as a CCIW. All teams are in every game, so you expect the Firebirds to really provide a stiff test for the tied for first Titans.
Well, and the biggest thing about the Titans, and we'll dive into all the intricacies throughout the game, but one of them is how staunch their defense is. We see the press here. 92 steals for one of their players already. Already a Illinois Wesleyan season high, and we still got plenty to go. Floater with the right hand, no good. Morrissey fights for the offensive board and just plows it through.
That's going to be important for the Firebirds to create second chance opportunities. And right there, they cash one in.
Beautiful up and under for Ebeling off the assist from Thistle. And that's what they need, that strength down low. Foul going to be called against Ebeling. You know, not only to keep in mind one thing Coach Jones has done throughout this entirety of the season. Again, first year at the helm, I think it says a lot that they're so competitive this early on. You know, she'll be coaching against Maya Smith, excuse me. And I think something to keep in mind, it's actually going to send to the line for two is that foul off of Ebeling. But I think something to keep in mind in this situation with Coach Jones is she's really found each and every way, each and every button to press. So if it's a Knable is going to get the start, Ebeling going to get the start, Grace Cord going to get the start. It's not a consistent lineup at the 4 and 5 position because it's matchup based. Are we going speed? Are we going defense? Are we going rebounding? Are we going double bigs? And so in her first year, you know, Coach Jones really having this team playing as well as you can imagine. And there is that steal. There is that layup. Miss. Own board. Put right back. So already Sawyer White, we talked about 92 steals. There's 93. We're getting close to the year that some of these players were born. Driving in, bounce pass Ebeling, and there's the... Now, let me talk about this and you can expound. The Carthage Firebirds run this type of press most often, and so when you're used to that same type of defense, that's what you run in practice. That's what you run against the scout team. So they're going to be used to that. They're not going to be used to just the prowess by Mallory Powers on the outside hand in her face. Didn't matter.
Yeah, just spotting out the three right in the face of the defender, and there's another turnover. But yeah, you think having extra practice against, and there's back-to-back threes by Powers. Dangerous early on.
Yeah.
And yeah, you would think that would provide some, you know, familiarity, some comfort with trying to break it. And you can see Carthage has beat it twice now. And Ebeling looks like the senior. She's out here to play this afternoon.
Well, again, if you're going to press, sure, you might get a turnover or two, but somebody's going to be open. And like we said, Carthage is able to find that press breaker. Right now, Powers, if it's not for her 2 threes, it's a different ball game. She's just been lights out. I mean, those are nothing but the bottom of the net. Let's see what happens here on this possession. Looking for the pass underneath, up with the left hand, and good. What a fast-paced game for both these squads already. 7-11, Illinois Wesleyan leads.
Yeah, Powers showing you that she's not just hanging around the three-point line. Made a nice cut under the hoop to get open.
Another steal. Titans driving, knocked away at the bitter end by Lauren Knight. One of the seniors had her pregame festivities.
Yeah, you can tell Illinois Wesleyan likes to, with the press, really kind of run a up-tempo offense. They shoot early in the shot clock, not afraid to...
Yeah, there's that offensive foul. Yeah, Lauren Huber the elder, we like to say, her younger sister Mackenzie Huber is on the team as well. But she just plowed Ebeling out of play. You can't do that. Good call.
And something you were talking about with Coach Jones with how she's putting together lineups, something she had to have in mind is a lot of ball handling on the court because knowing the pressure they provide, that's why you can kind of see a smaller lineup.
There's Ebeling. So usually, you know, if it's that half-court style play, usually that's the Cord and Knable show. So don't be surprised if you see a Pekaski come in, one of the more quicker defenders defensively at the big position. Don't be surprised if you see a Ram probably.
Yeah,
there you go. That's a good one. Nora Ram might say it. Malia Green, one of your faster rotational players at the 2 and 3 position. So something to keep in mind across that front where things are going to go. It's a fascinating matchup because, yes, Illinois Wesleyan, we talked about it ad nauseum now, tied for first at the top of the CCIW. But this is a good speed matchup or I should say they match up well. And like you called it, Aram first off the bench for the Firebirds as she's going to give Thistle a spell. Checking out for the Titans, 22, Ava Bardich. And here indeed comes Knable. So I'm going to guess you can see a quicker rotation at the 5 because of, what type of practicing and what type of team and makeup you have.
Yeah, and with the full court pressure, you expect, it kind of keeps some fresh legs out there, because once you start getting tired, that's when turnovers happen. So fresh legs off the bench there, knocking down a 3. Aram making an impact right off the bench.
Nora Aram, 2 for 6 on the season total, and both of them are threes. Make that 3 for 7, and they're all from threes.
And that was deep, too. That was not a close range three-pointer.
Aram, the Division I UIC transfer, a mid-season transfer. She hadn't started with the Flames, and so she still had that full eligibility. Transferred at semester. Nothing like learning a new system and contributing. And there's Knable tying it up for the Birds.
You see Carthage has been successful offensively when they get by the full court pressure. People are Ebeling and now Knable have been able to benefit, but getting some good looks. And you think Illinois Wesleyan, with how aggressive they are in defense, that's something that, they might, be okay with giving up.
Smart play by Aram. Did the old school off the shin. And a timeout going to be called. Well, I'm not sure if that's a timeout by the Firebirds or off the shin. Either way, full timeout will stay here. What a fun and exciting match. 14-14. This is the bread and butter for the Titans. But on the flip side, this shows Coach Jones and the prowess and awareness she has that she's able to make these adjustments based on the team they're playing.
Yeah, I would guess Coach Maya Smith for the Titans might make some adjustments just by how many times they've been beat on the press and how many good looks they've had by Ebeling and Knable now. So you wonder how the chess pieces might move around here. Maybe Illinois Wesleyan might change it up a little bit.
Sure.
But Carthage right now, as long as they've been able to get past half court, opportunities have been abound for the offense and, taking advantage of those open looks because of the aggressiveness of the Titans.
Well, let me ask this question now. You saw that Illinois Wesleyan hadn't done much rotation. Is there something different you need to do if you're Carthage right now? Is it more so, hey, it's 0-0, for the old adage, anytime it's tied, it's 0-0. Is it just stay the course for the Firebirds right now?
You would think that. A couple of those tough shots that Mallory Powers able to knock down, you said, those 6 points there, and both times had a hand in her face.
Yeah.
So, as a Coach Jones, you're going to live with some of those tough threes. You just want to make it, difficult and continue to have tough looks against the Titans there. And Aram not able to capitalize on a nice drive to the hoop.
Yeah, faked it off to the right, kept it herself, tried the layup, no good. Titans now with their chance to try to take the lead. Fighting for position. Titans haven't really tried to bang it down low yet. Let's see if they start that offensiveness. Shot clock under 10 now. Screen at the top, kicking back out. Knight, hand in the face, kicking back out for 3. No good. Side iron, following her own. And they are saying that Spear was the last to touch it. Good call. As kind of closer to us, Kate Knutson didn't make contact. And here we go. Here's Malia Green. We talked about that quick substitution, that quick rotation. I've been saying recently too, Eric, you and I haven't done a game together in a while. We've both been sick. Not that anybody cares, but Mama Green, big fan of our broadcasts up here. So shout out to Mama Green if she's listening today. I think she's a fan of your sultry tones, she gets a steal. We spoke it into existence.
And that's the second time that Firebird has come right off the bench and made an instant contribution. Aram had a long 3, and there Green getting off the bench and taking it away from the Green.
Oh, I like that. See, you know what? We talked about pregame off the air, different merchandising opportunities. Lauren Knight not able to get the one. Imagine if they made like a Malia Green, replica jersey. I'd sport that. Get it signed postseason, frame it up on the wall. We can hang it here from the perch. Or are we nest today? Is it nest or perch? What are we going with? I want to respect, your time up here in the booth with me, so.
When the first name that comes to my head is the Nest.
Okay.
As you saw Huber get the and one call there, and that Huber early on has been successful driving to the hoop. You can tell she's very strong, was able to power through the contact, and their leading scorer doing what she does. But yeah, I think I would love to see more merchandise options. One of my favorite Carthage pieces I got was from the esports team.
Ooh.
They have some pretty sweet gear. Shout out to the esports here at Carthage College.
Pass a bit too far to Spear. That was the right look, but just too much behind it by Lauren Knight. And here comes Green yet again. So she sat down, she took one deep breath to 10, and right back in for, I believe it's going to be
Spear.
Was that Spear? I'm sure we'll have to see who that was coming off the bench. Still no jersey, waiting for the sub, and it was Spear.
Yeah, over the years, you look at Lauren Knight and Margaret Spear, the similar hairstyle. Sometimes you can't see the number. They could be close to twins.
Yeah, crisp passing in, and you are usually courtside. So if you're saying that, and we're up here in the rafters, that shows that my LASIK hasn't failed me yet, or at least worn off enough. Forced turnover again. Who else? Rinse and repeat. Sawyer White, the pride of Montini Catholic.
Yeah, that's where Carthage has gotten trouble early on here, is just getting past that half court. You even saw the turnover, not this last possession, 2 possessions ago. Spear was open to break to the hoop. It was just a little too much on the pass. So when they break it, they can score, but Wesleyan is really tough.
Oh, nice move in. Knable forced to foul, but just like that, it was tied at 14. A quick 5-0 run with a chance to make it 7 for Illinois Wesleyan. Lauren Knight coming over to have a conversation. It's not necessarily been mistakes defensively for Carthage. That was just good passing. I think it's the offensive side right now. The breaking the full court press. It's been timeout on the far side. They've gotten trapped in that coffin corner and just haven't been able to get out of it.
I mean, it's easy to say things from up here, but
sure.
Yeah, the athleticism
please.
of Illinois Wesleyan, very, causing a lot of problems for the Firebirds, and that's something you might look for, the Carthage. Is the ball knocked away there? No. So that's something you look for at Carthage, is like if you can get the ball and push it up the court before they can get set, that's one way to relieve some of the pressure, and they're able to get back, but an unfortunate pass, miscommunication, and Wesleyan back with the ball.
I think something else to keep in mind, as the one Sawyer White forced that turnover, is going to be credited with a steal, but it's not that just they are challenging Carthage getting past half court. It's that press continues until Carthage is completely set, and that's that little twist, that little nuance that I think Carthage is having their struggles with right now, as the lead is now extended to 8-0 run off of that 14-14 tie. Firebirds, Morrissey drives, layup.
Thistle almost catching him napping there.
Up and under in her own right. Wow.
It's almost over her head there. Almost a no-look shot. Circus shot.
Yeah, 1:14 remaining. Knight breaks through, gets it to Morrissey. Wide open. Green. Banks it in!
I heard her call it.
Can we be captains of the fan club? From Aaliyah Green, the trifecta in her first shot. Rolls off the foot. That's going Firebirds' way.
Little momentum rolling towards the Firebirds here.
And there again, that quick rotation. Green hits the bench. She is all smiles. Hey, you take it where you can take it. Preseason, I had the conversation. I'm sure we talked about it in the broadcast. Preseason, I had the conversation with Coach Jones, and we pretty much went through each and every player. And when we got to Green, she said, look, she's one of the best shooters on our team. I need to keep reminding her, you are one of the best shooters on the team. Shoot the ball, it'll go in. I will take whatever chances. If you miss, fine, but I know because I see it. And she said having to build her confidence was one of the biggest challenges with her joining this squad. Pass over the middle, Cord's going to need to force it up. Spear, 3, no good, back iron. Cord forces the rebound and is gonna get fouled.
Cord powering to get that offensive rebound, and Spear not hitting the 3, but we talked about second chance opportunity is going to be big for the Firebirds. What a fake by Morrissey. Fake the handoff.
Wow.
Cut to the hoop. Getting the foul. That was like the option attack almost as a quarterback where you fake the pitch and take it yourself. And the quickness of Morrissey, always a threat.
We say each and every game so important right now for this Firebird squad. Battling for that final spot, that log jam at the bottom of the standings, getting to the postseason. You know, we'll expound on it more throughout the game, but misguided pass, 8 seconds left, plenty of time to get the shot off. You know, they had a victory here at Tarble against North Central, 67-42, a convincing win. But that, and you were here for that as well, that triple overtime loss just 2 weeks ago against Elmhurst just kind of put him in a funk. Morrissey for 3, hand in her face, not able to get it off. Firebirds, little run of their own. They go on a 6-2 run to be down by 4. 24-20. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Quarter 2 action on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Starting the second quarter, Carthage ball.
Welcome into the Firebird Broadcast Network. Peter Ferreri alongside Eric Elger. Little run by the Firebirds to end that first one. Again, just trying to break. The full court press has been the challenge for both teams. Morrissey tries to force it up. No contact, or not enough to call the whistle.
Yeah, it was nice to see the Firebirds fight back there before the end of the quarter.
Oh, nice follow-up. 23 yet again, Mallory Powers. She has been the offense, 10 out of the 26 points by the way of Powers.
Yeah, when you look at the first quarter stats, Carthage 7 turnovers on 15 possessions, so
Thistle floats it up.
Carthage can smooth that out a little bit because, yeah, turning the ball over on almost half your possessions is...
Wow. Kate Palmer out of Geneva with an absolute monster step. Lead back up to 8.
Morrissey trying to feed Knable there. And
there's the 3. Margaret Spear daggers it in, and that's the type of shooting that Carthage is going to need. They're going to have their shots. Because, again, with the amount of pressure that Wesleyan gives, a lot of times there'll be somebody open. You just got to drain them. But they're not going to make it easy, and they're not going to let a Lauren Knight or Mariana Morrissey defeat you one-on-one. Nice backdoor pass. My goodness. Powers again, 12 points.
Wonder if Coach Maya Smith saw something that Carthage is doing defensively, because that's 3 looks in a row that Wesleyan was able to get at the hoop. Powers with the backdoor cut. Got open the screen there.
Yeah, Powers averaging 12 and a half a game. She is more or less at that season average, a minute 45 into the second quarter.
Yeah, you kind of look at the lineup for Wesleyan, and it's pretty balanced, and they're one of those teams that will just feed whoever's got it working that night. And it's been Mallory Powers so far.
Oh, nice layup with the left hand. Lauren Huber might have a timeout soon. Lead back to 9. It was at 4. Taken away again. Thistle tried to power through. Coach Jones just not happy. Pump fake up.
There's
good.
the timeout.
Sawyer White. Coach Jones is furious with the officials, saying, I called a timeout before. Her assistant coach is having to have a conversation, but again, the reason that bears mentioning is, you felt that timeout was needed. You felt that momentum changing. It was 24-20, more or less 2 minutes and 15 seconds ago. And right now, what a run. It is a 10-3 run by Wesleyan, and a lot of it is self-inflicted wounds by the Firebirds.
Yeah, that's now 14 points off turnovers for the Titans, and on that last possession, it was Mallory Powers playing free safety, got the steal, and it went from defense to offense, and no time flat, and that's when Coach Jones had to call the timeout to try to make some adjustments here. But yeah, turnovers right now, the big story for the Firebirds, and and they find some way to relieve some of that pressure.
Well, not only is it the pressure, I think something as well, because they've had to go so fast offensively, it's that split second they haven't made the defensive adjustment, and you're finding those easy layups or that one-on-one where you take a step to the baseline and it's wide open spaces.
Yeah, that's something good teams do, and Illinois Wesleyan obviously a really good team, and they make you play their style, and you're right, they sped up the Firebirds as much of anything, and the decision-making time gets cut, a lot of things moving around, and
Knight loses the handle. They're saying it went off her knee. She's not agreeing with that call, but even after the timeout.
Yeah, Knight did what she needed to do there. Got around the defender, and no one was able to step in her way. Just Wesleyan able to get a hand in there and poke it out. And now you see Wesleyan, they like to spread it out there, and you can see Powers cutting in.
Offensive foul called against Lauren Huber. She kind of threw her hands up, but she, we'll just say, waiting for the subs. But the reason I say that is there's conversation with the officials. I think part of it is I wasn't sure who got fouled by Carthage, but one of the Firebirds got pushed back a solid 5 feet.
So just
okay, all right. Some clerical work.
Yeah, I believe the basket just clearing up that the basket did not count because the offensive foul occurred before the shot. So, which would have been 2 points for Wesleyan. Gets turned around, and there you go. Around breaking ankles.
Oh man, if they would have gotten that shot to fall, that would have set this fan base in an uproar.
And Around looks to be a steady hand for Coach Jones off the bench here, creating opportunities for her teammates.
Morrissey keeps herself, just misses, bounces back. Morrissey misses again. Those are the shots the Firebirds need to fall if they want to keep the pace with the Titans.
Morrissey went coast to coast, just couldn't finish the trip.
Kate Palmer able to deliver, and again, that's the reciprocation. They're falling right now for the Titans. They're not falling for the Firebirds. A 12-3 run right now for Wesleyan. Lauren Knight, a lethal shooter from the outside, drives it in herself, and one. Lauren Lauren Knight said, I'll just take it myself this time.
Hit him with a Euro step there. Woo! Yeah, what looked like a good opportunity to launch that three. She pump fakes, gets an even better opportunity and can get three the hard way here.
Knight now could bring it back to within 10. And good. Knight leading scorer for the Firebirds, almost 17 points a game. It was Morrissey for most of the season, but I think the CCIW kind of caught on. Morrissey is good and just started, all right, we're going to take her out of the game. Who else is going to step up? Knight was number 2 for most of the season, so has now surpassed that mark. But again, when you got a 1-2 punch at inside out, shot clock winding down, no good back iron. Oh, nice offensive board. Mallory Powers, have yourself a game. 14 points.
Yeah, she is having her way, hitting outside shots, offensive rebounds, and she has been a force.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we mentioned about Morrissey. Yeah. I think, when you have such success early on, you're going to rise up in the scouting report and rise up for a three for Knight.
Got to do some blinks there. That's Steph Curry. I mean, that was 4 steps behind the three-point line. Wow.
Pass up the opportunity for a three 2 possessions ago. This time she said, I think I will.
Too hard off the back iron. Firebirds within single digits now. Kicking out Morrissey. Can she find a three of her own? No good. The shot was there, though.
Yeah, there you see Carthage able to push and beat Wesleyan, getting set up in defense, but they're a transition three.
They're all falling right now for Wesleyan. Lauren Malum, excuse me, the sophomore out of Barrington.
Wesleyan, clearly a good shooting team. You look up and down,
yeah.
The three-point percentages, a lot of them hover around that 38, 39%. And Powers, the ball fake, you have to respect the three-point shot. Yeah. She's shown you can hit them, and there she capitalized on that threat that she possesses outside behind the three-point arc.
Yeah, Malum averaging just over 5 points a game. So you're having everybody contribute right now. The goal always for the Firebirds, though, is can we keep it within? Oh, it's both sides of the rim and out. Timeout called by Wesleyan. We'll keep it here, 3:50 to go until half. But, one of the Coach Jones style play, or one of her adages is, hey, as long as it's within striking distance, as long as it's at that 10-point mark or so, we can overcome that deficit, going into the second half, going into the fourth quarter especially. So they're still close enough. And they're not slowing down either, but something's got to change, because right now the inside game is working for the Titans. The outside game is working for the Titans. They finally found their way to start breaking that press, as we see on the replay. But again, when you're getting these type of crisp passes, if you're Lauren Knight, you got to try to block it somehow. So it's not as if there's been issues. But what would you do right now if you are the home Firebirds?
Yeah, you look at Carthage. They took a punch early on in the quarter, able to kind of stem the tide there a little bit. But something I think that has bit them, besides the turnovers, is that there's been some good looks at the hoop. They've had some open looks behind the arc, and they've just not capitalized on some of those things. And I think if you're Coach Jones, the offense has looked better this quarter, not as many turnovers. But, when you get to the hoop, you got to capitalize on some of those opportunities. And I think that's where Carthage can, some of those drives that Morrissey's had, she makes those more often than not. And part of it might be what we talked about, is the speed of Illinois Wesleyan. And so they're speeding up the Firebird offense. And it looked like they've been a little strong off the glass as they've been taking it to the hoop.
Well, Carthage right now, if you crunch the numbers, they are shooting at a 45% rate right now, which in most cases is a very good number. Illinois Wesleyan is at 62. So when you're shooting normally well, and then your opponent is shooting that much better, you're going to have your quick shots. You're going to have your yours go in and not. Right now, also stepping in is Sarah Bali out of Lake Park High School. Another 3-ball falls. Mallory Powers in Fuego. Or excuse me, my apologies. That's Ava Bardich actually comes away with it.
Yeah, another.
Just diversified attack?
Yes, they've got threes up and down the lineup now. It feels like 4 or 5 players have hit a three-pointer. You look up at the points that Illinois Wesleyan has on the clock right now. It's 3s and 5s, so.
Stolen away again by the Titans.
And here it looks like Power is able to take a rest, and Wesleyan not slowing down, even though their leading scorer for the game is sitting out, and somebody else stepping up. Is that 2 in a row now?
For Bardich. And that's somebody in Bardich who is their second leading scorer. So that is the expectation offensively for them. In a snap of a finger, it's a 20-point lead. Knable able to get the crisp pass inside. So right now, Wesleyan defensively, once the press expires, I guess you could say, they're just guarding the 3. They're like, okay, we'll take the long range away. Green checks back into the game. Thistle inside, Knable, beautiful up and under, not able to fall. Thistle kicks it ahead tonight. She's not afraid to take that 3, drives in, gets the contact, loses it, and they're going to call a charge on Knight. I know, hindsight 2020. You had the open 3. You're down by, 18. Just take the shot maybe. She thought about it, then reconsidered, decided to drive. She tried to find her way through the sea of 3 defenders in green. Wasn't able to find greener pastures.
Yeah, wasn't able to step up, take the charge there.
So Dayla Edwards checks in. Give a little bit of a spell to Thistle.
Yeah, Illinois Wesleyan's kind of had both ways here. Another 3. Heat check 3, and that one's down.
That's 3
Bardich.
in a row. 3 in a row.
That was definitely 3 that she said, yeah, why? I mean, when you're feeling like that.
Edwards averaging 4 minutes a game. Steal, shot, good. My goodness, this pace is unfathomable right now. So, doing my research, I studied. I watched some film. I listened to some old broadcasts. Shout out Matt Sossler, the broadcaster for Illinois Wesleyan, in the house today. Outstanding job for the Titans. Taught him everything he knows. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's a great guy, so shout out to him. But point is, listening to some of his old broadcasts, you see the speed on film. Seeing it in person, that's why they're tied for first.
Yes, they're very dangerous, and they're the defense stepping up. It just seems like their hands are in every passing lane, and it's Carthage is trying to make it. They see people open, and it just seems like somebody from the Titans is getting a hand on it and tipping it away, and then away they go. A lot of points out of turnovers. We mentioned they had 16 a moment ago, and now the points off the 17 points off turnovers, and they got 28 points in the paint. They're knocking down 3s. So for Carthage, you wonder, what one can we try to slow down here? We got to stop something.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul called on Dale Edwards. Can't discredit her. You got to get some physicality. You can't give them the open lane. Checking into the game has been Lonnie Shantaberry.
Yeah, the Titans have a lot of success with those backdoor cuts, kind of just right under the hoop when they have somebody drive to the hoop, and then there just seems like there's always a slip in behind.
Shut up, no
good
good
defense
side
by
iron.
Knable.
And again, they're used to having this good defense, but the shooting right now for Wesleyan, that is up to 65%, including 50% from the field. Just unfathomable numbers.
Yeah,
50. But shout out to them.
50% from 3. That's getting it done. And
it's not like it's 1 for 2. It's 7 for 14.
Knight just coming up short there.
Oh, that
seems like
shot.
that.
Oh my Lord. Folks, if you haven't seen Bardich in person, 4 for 4 from 3, all in the second quarter. Up to 14 points has hit her average in the second quarter.
Knight taken to the hoop there right before half. Yeah, it seemed like it was a Powers show the first quarter. And then the Bardich show, and just cannot miss from the outside.
My goodness, we are witness. 57-33. We'll take a timeout. Halftime report will be with you shortly on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. And welcome into the Firebird Broadcasting Network halftime show. Pete Ferreri alongside Eric Elger. Outstanding performances by the cheer and dance squad, along with some recognition for some of the great seniors and different roles in what they've done. Let's talk about the game at hand. I want the big number 33. You may say, why 33? That's how many points were scored just in the second quarter by this Carthage squad, by the Wesleyan squad. And that's the exact number that Carthage has in the entirety of the game. It was just a second quarter of the ages for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, you think 57 and a half, you're on your way to well over 100 points. And when you look at who's been doing the damage for the Titans, it's Bardich, it's Powers. Combined, they're 12 of 15 from the floor. They've got 30 points between the two of them, shooting 80%, and they have 6 threes. So the two of them alone almost matching Carthage. And if you're Carthage, you know, what adjustments can you make to slow down the Titans? Because it's been inside, it's been outside. I mean, some of it's been hot shooting, but you know, what can you take away to try to at least make it more difficult for the Titans in the second half?
Yeah, let's talk through where things are at again. Offensively, it's Ebeling 4 for 5, 9 points. Knight 3 for 6, 8 points. You know, Knable 4, Spear. It's not as if they haven't done a lot offensively. 33 is a very respectable number. Defensively, something's got to change. And who knows, the law of averages, maybe Wesleyan doesn't shoot from this, you know, amazing percentage when we look at where it was. 56 in the first quarter, 43 in the second quarter for Wesleyan. Let's see if they can bring it down. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Third quarter action. Wesleyan on their way to continuing to be top of the leaderboard for the CCIW. Carthage, however, not out of it yet. Come back, we'll find out on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Second half action underway, 57-33 on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Pete Ferreri alongside Eric Elger. Let's see what happens in the second half as Wesleyan, comfortable lead of 24. That's an early miss, just what the doctor ordered for the Firebirds. Let's see what they can do offensively.
Yeah, you expect Carthage to come out with some fire here to try to cut this lead. And, you know, even if, you know, it doesn't become, they can get totally back into this game. You just like to see to make it more difficult for the Titans, and they're already at 3. Doesn't look like
it's
Illinois.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody said we're just going to be welcome to the scoring party.
So yeah, if you're Coach Jones, you just got to have your team play tough, physical, reduce the turnovers, and unfortunately they pulled the chair on Margaret Spear there. She was kind of leaning against that defender, and then all of a sudden she wasn't there, and too many steps. But yeah, I mean, you look at this team for Illinois Wesleyan, it's threats all around. Here you've got, you know, someone like Huber, who was a threat to take to the hoop, and then everybody else around the arc seems like they're not going to miss. Nice ball movement there by the Titans. Powers there to drop it off to Huber, and Powers again playing free safety. Another 3.
I'm trying to load career-type marks because right now it's just an offensive onslaught. They're open, they're not open, they're covered, they're not covered. Doesn't matter. It could be 5 hands in the face, and they're making it. Wow.
Yeah, quick time out there from Coach Jones. You wonder, I mean, all the adjustments you try to make at halftime, you know, you try to make it difficult for Wesleyan, and the Titans had other ideas come out of the halftime. They did not cool off at all in the locker room. And we got your T-shirt toss here.
T-shirt toss. We'll try. I'll wave a hand while I look at some of the numbers. Just looking at some recent scores. So we talked about the offensive output for Illinois Wesleyan. 99 were scored against Elmhurst. So that's a good offensive output. They need 34 more to get to that point. Again, we're going to challenge their arms. Maybe one day during like pregame, you and I will go down there. We'll roll up our own T-shirt maybe and see, what type of fortitude it takes to get here.
Yeah, I mean, we want the fans to have the shirts, but
I'm a
the
fan.
Thrill of the catch.
No, I
yeah, you know what I mean. Right. The thrill of the catch. But like getting a foul ball.
Sure.
T-shirt toss.
But yeah, Wesleyan at Elmhurst 99. Home versus Wheaton 78. Home versus Augustana 85. Their last loss against 17th ranked Milliken 77. But then how about this for their loss earlier against Milliken? They scored 91 in a loss.
Morrissey powered it there. Carthage is going to have to get some looks at the hoop. To rely just strictly outside shooting, it's going to be tough for them to knock down enough threes, but looks like that can get them back in the game.
They did put up a 100-burger against Elmhurst November the 29th, so it seems 99 and 101 were their numbers against Elmhurst. Those are the season highs, win or loss. 94 against Hendricks, 98 against Augustana, 97 earlier against Carthage. So scoring points is not an issue at all. But I think something to keep in mind is scoring this early.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier, the game was 24-20 at one point, and it seems like Wesleyan's made every three after that point.
I also, if you are a Titans fan, Ebeling banks it in good. But the reason I say if you're a Wesleyan fan, you want to talk about a bright future ahead, Sawyer White, sophomore. Bali, sophomore. Powers, junior. Bardich, sophomore. Do you get the trend? These are underclassmen or maybe juniors. This is a sustainable team in terms of their offensive output.
Yeah, as a Firebirds fan, I do not like the idea of seeing this team complete and coming back. But the Firebirds here, you just got to show some fight.
Yeah, Ebeling gets it tipped away. 29-point lead through the sea of hands.
That's what you need to see out of your senior,
Yeah.
taking a charge, trying to be a spark here for the team. Yeah, this team seems to really play so well together. They move the ball, they see each other, the cuts that they each make, and especially as a high, powered offense. Offense like this for the Titans, it's got to be fun to play because they pass it around and open looks, and the ball keeps going through the net.
Yeah, and Sawyer White, we talked about that, historical mark steals, held to only 2 steals, but also so many teammates have stepped up in that category. Green picks up the dribble, and she has it taken away. Again, it's one of those situations, too, with this Wesleyan team. The second the opponent picks up the dribble, they converge, and then they just make threes like it's going out of style. I don't know what else to say. 56% from 3.
Yeah, there the Firebird defense just kind of was scrambled from the get-go, and that left Bardich rather. And Ebeling's gonna have to power him some, get some tough buckets for the team. And you just got to keep fighting. You just got to keep, show some toughness here. Seniors for the Firebirds. Provide that leadership, but there it was just Kate Knutson just kind of bully her way to the hoop there.
Well, it was the dribble, it was the spin, it was the composure. Knight 3, no good back iron.
And just like that, they're off and running.
I had a good conversation earlier in the week with legendary women's basketball coach Doug Bruno, 30-plus years at the helm for DePaul, arguably one of the best women's coaches of all times, and he said people forget how good the CCIW is, or if they don't know, they should. He said these are top-level D1 players that are making a choice to go to this conference for their personal reasons. He said they could play at this D1 level. These could be players you're watching regularly, on the major networks play because of how good they are. Jump ball going to be called, possession stays with the Firebirds, and you're seeing that on display here today.
Yeah, especially with just the elite shooting, the talent that Illinois Wesleyan provides. Yeah, you would think a lot of programs around the country, D1, D2, D3, anyone would be willing to take some of the playmakers and
Yeah.
offensive firepower that they have, because they're shooting 11 of 19 from the 3-point. That's 58%.
Yes, that some may say that's good. As we see in the replay here, and it's not even the outside shooting. I mean, the passing is absolutely spot on. We see Morrissey forcing it up, but again, for every one replay we have positively for the Firebirds, there's 2 to 3. I mean, look at just, I don't even want to say confusion, just there was like 3 Knights in that circumstance, 3 Titans, excuse me, converged at the 3-point line, boom, they spread out. I mean, that's just good offensive play calling, it's good coaching, and here's the biggest thing I think for number 13th ranked Wesleyan, it's confidence. They feel at any given point in time, contested or not, they're going to make the shot.
Yeah, and it just seems like they're just so well coached that when on those transition opportunities, the team spreads out so well. Yeah. Everyone knows their spots. They have, if Carthage starts to get out there at the 3-point line, they're making backdoor cuts, and it's tough for Carthage because it's like you turn the ball over, you're racing back, you're trying to find who you got to guard, and then before you find it, there's already a 3 going through the hoop.
Sure. Again, let's not forget, quarter 1 ended, it was 24-20. And it's been something else, no other way to say it. Looking ahead, after that steal, up, layup, good. The Titans, their last road game is this game. They head back home Wednesday versus North Park. And then North Central to finish things out on their senior day. This is the final home game for the Firebirds. Layup good for Green.
It's almost like the length is surprising the Firebirds, because on that last inbound play, that was just a steal that she just reached in there, took it, and the length, the speed.
Yeah.
And there, Green.
Oh, Green.
Catches her napping.
I think she was expecting some more contact.
Yeah, she just straight up took that one.
Yeah. And I know Coach Jones had stated that, earlier, a few weeks ago, she's like, I don't want to, you might have been, we've called a lot of sports here, but she said, I don't want to start scoreboard watching. I think you're at the point now where, okay, you still have that chance. Aram passes in, Morrissey, layup good. You still have a chance at the postseason. I think you got to start scoreboard watching a little bit. You got 2 left, okay? Let's call it like it is. You got 2 left after this, 30-point deficit right now against Wesleyan. Still want to keep your players playing, still want to keep the momentum. Some players dinged up. You've lost multiple players to injuries right now.
And that one falls.
When it rains, it pours. And right now, Illinois Wesleyan, as the great Hillary Duff once said, let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Green up, no good. But when you look at who's left on the schedule, and again, we'll get more into these intricacies as the game goes on. Offensive board up, no good. Another offensive board. Wesleyan just having their way in all facets of the game. Getting some playing time now, number 30, Taylor Tarver, the senior out of Oswego. Layup good, left hand, Kate Palmer, the junior. You have Wheaton on the road, you have Milliken on the road, okay? Milliken right now already securing a spot, but Wheaton right now is one of those 2 teams battling for that last spot. Elmhurst, Carthage, Wheaton. Now, here's something else to keep in mind. Wheaton playing Elmhurst today. Morrissey, 3. So that game in itself, the Wheaton and Elmhurst game, massive implications. Massive.
And something I've noticed about the Titans here is that they have players that are versatile.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of the players are not just, sticking at the outside, just waiting to get an open look. Players like Palmer have it inside. She was posting up last possession. Powers has got an inside-out game. Huber doesn't take a lot of threes, but she can cut to the hoop.
Yeah.
And so it just seems like they're so versatile and talented. It just makes it life difficult for the Firebirds.
Here comes in Jessie Pekaski, a player that you and I spoke about early in the game that, likely to see her come into the rotation. Coming off an injury of her own, she also, in the fall season, is in cross country, so had a cross country injury. So, again, don't know if and when she got back to 100%, but, getting some playing time now. Offensive board off the missed free throw. But again, when you look at who secured their spot, Carroll, Wesleyan, Milliken. Top three have secured their spot. 6 make it. Your next 3, North Central, Augustana. And that shot clock is going to expire as Megan Moody, the 5th year, not able to get it off in time. But why do I talk about those next 2 between North Central and Augustana? They both sit at 7 wins. So after today, should Carthage not be able to come back in this one, the most wins they can end up with is 6. Okay, now why is that important? Wheaton also is at 4. Elmhurst is at 5. So if Wheaton comes away and beats Elmhurst, so they're tied at 5. Grace Cord gets her first bucket of the day. But if Wheaton beats Elmhurst, they'll be at 5 apiece. But then if Carthage then beats Wheaton in their next matchup and Elmhurst loses out, what does that mean? Carthage still gets in at that final spot. So I don't want anybody here watching along and listening with us this Saturday afternoon to say, okay, well, this is kind of it for Carthage. Not the case at all. There is absolutely still a chance for this team to make postseason, or make the postseason, excuse me. And right now, Elmhurst at half up by 10, 36-26 over Wheaton.
Yeah, that triple overtime loss
Oof.
definitely looking even
Huge.
tougher when you see Elmhurst.
Yeah.
Aram almost pulling away with the steal.
Well, another one as well, and I don't want to, continue down this path. The 2, it's not even that loss. January the 27th in that triple overtime game, which would have, had huge implications, because at that point, nice up and under miss, following up, getting the own rebound. Falling away shot, good. Number 20, Kate Knutson. Not only was it that loss, it's then, okay, Carroll, they're ranked. Understood that was a loss here at home by 20. It was the loss this past Wednesday to North Park. North Park, 1 win in conference play, losing to them. If you don't lose to them, then
yeah,
with 3, with 2, with 1, Banks.
Yeah.
84-48, flip the numbers. That's the score. 13th ranked Wesleyan well on their way to victory here. We'll come back 4th quarter on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Carthage Athletics on social media. Check out @Carthage Athletics on YouTube, Carthage Athletics on Facebook and Instagram, and Carthage Sports on X, formerly known as Twitter. And for all Carthage sports news, check out athletics.carthage.edu.
We're back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Pete Ferreri, Eric Elger, 48-84. And a travel going to be called. The Titans have put up 100 once this year, multiple games in the 90s. So you may be watching this team for the first time and say, oh, it's just a lot of lucky rolls. Well, scoring 90 regularly, that's not a lot of luck. That's just pure talent. We're seeing it. We are witness.
Yeah, it's no accident. This team now has 6 different players with a three-pointer, and like it just seems like somebody else comes off the bench, Cooley knocks down the three. But if you're Carthage and Coach Jones, I mean, you know, you start thinking about the next 2 games right now. He's like, what kind of 10 minutes can your team put in here, and can you use something here at the end of the game to launch you into those last 2 games and try to take, you know, this game, cut it into pieces, and this is a 10 minutes where Carthage can show that, you know, they're going to be able to fight those last 2 games and hopefully pick up those wins and sneak into the tournament if they can.
With a screen for the right. Again, still got to credit Coach Jones, her first year at the team, completely overhauling the system offensively, defensively, stylistically. You know, and the fact that this late in the season that they're still, you know, in contention. Up with the right hand, bounces no good. A miss from Illinois Wesleyan, which I didn't think they were capable of with the way they've been shooting. Want to remind everybody, post-game show, Coach Jones immediately following the broadcast, double header as the men's squads will be taking on one another about 20-25 minutes following the conclusion of this game. Morrissey drives up, good.
Great take. Yeah, Morrissey, you love to see her attacking the basket, and that's something Carthage is going to need her to do to pick up those last couple wins in the season. Thistle picking up a rebound.
Knight thought about it, drives in, pops up from the elbow, just misses. I want to give credit really quickly as well to the crowd here. Senior Day, nice crowd, and despite what's happening right now, they're still involved, still into the game. You know, it says a lot about the Firebird faithful. Illinois Wesleyan had some fans traveling well, about 3 hours.
I mean, that's something as a senior, you want to, you know, obviously you want to win the game, but when this is your last home game, you want to savor it. You know, you want to enjoy it. You want to think about, you know, the times you all the hard, you know, work and effort you put in. So I would expect seniors like Ebeling to continue to make a mark. Let's see. Hey, there we go.
Well, and again, you don't know what the future holds. You don't know if players stay or go or what their decisions may be, personally speaking. So.
Third personal. First team foul.
You can see Illinois Wesleyan getting some playing time for the end of their bench here. Yeah, and someone like, you know, you think of Ebeling, Knight, seniors that this Fire have been around here so long. Outstanding careers, and
oh sure,
been a joy to watch. I've been fortunate enough to be here the last 4 years to just see them grow, progress, and you know everyone that's come through here has been becomes a lot better player than when they started.
You know, looking at Milliken's upcoming schedule, again, they are facing Augustana today. After that, North Central, and then Carthage on the finale. Milliken 10-3 in conference play. You know, and now why do I want to mention that? Because of course Carthage needs to win out after this and have some help. But you never know. Milliken may reach the point if they get 2 more victories and know, okay, we are the 3rd seed regardless. Do you still keep everybody in? Do you start resting players, which we see in all facets of sports? If you start resting, okay, well, that can be an opportunity for the team trying to get that final spot. You know, so prevalent in football, you know, with how things go. Shot up, no good. Ebeling gets the offensive board and forces her way to the top. Addie Ebeling now 17 points. Nice senior day for Ebeling.
Yeah, she was scoring early in the game and didn't see a lot of her kind of in the middle point, but here at the end, picking it up again. A little shake and bake there.
Taylor Edwards, the senior. Get her on the board for senior day. Injured most of the season. Getting some reps here.
Yeah, nice move there. A couple stutter steps, froze the defender. Strong move to the hoop.
You know, you and I have called a lot of sports. I think there's something to be said, too, with the resolve right now of the Firebirds. Okay, not going to necessarily come away victorious. Can we win the fourth quarter?
Exactly.
Can we have that little bit of momentum?
Yeah, Ebeling didn't love that call. Thought she got all ball, but the ref saw otherwise.
So substitution coming in, number 11, Peyton Jacob, the sophomore. As Martha Lipich out of OPRF, Oak Park River Forest High School. No good off back. I know it's something else to say for this Wesleyan squad. So many games in the blowout or huge lead category where they're able to, you know, clear the bench. They're able to get a lot of bench players some time. Ebeling again.
Yeah, just keep getting it to Ebeling here.
Why not?
19 points.
Edwards to Ebeling, Ebeling to Edwards.
She's got to be creeping up to her. It's one of her
I was just going to check.
highest output
Look
games
at you.
here.
Look at you. Read my mind. Ebeling with a board.
Carthage going to push it here. There's the length of Wesleyan. Another hand in the passing lane, able to take it away. Seems like it doesn't matter who comes off the bench for the Titans.
Travel called. So she is Addie Ebeling. Her season high 17 points. That was against North Park this week. Let's see where that matches up in the career mark. Because we might have hit that mark as well. Let me confirm with the statisticians that my numbers match. And indeed, Addie Ebeling, career high, senior day, 19 points. Her career high before was 18.
What a way to go out. I mean, she's been in and out of the game here a little bit, but the first and fourth quarters making her mark. And a lot of their buckets have been, you know, tough under the hoop, grabbing offensive rebounds. I mean, there's always been a good rebounder for this team, and the scoring output, not what she's known for, but putting up 19 on senior nights. That's how you do it.
So again, we discussed where Milliken was at and their output. So again, might be intriguing where things are at on the 17th. I know we'll all be tuning along.
We were talking about how the players in this conference can be, you know, play it at any level. Especially at Milliken, that's Elise Knutson territory, isn't it? That's one of the leading scorers in the conference. She definitely looks like she could play anywhere.
Well, and again, not only is Milliken secured the postseason spot, but should they come away with a victory over Augustana today, that will indeed lock up the 3 seed. Still a chance at the 2, based on what happens with Carroll and North Central. But with Wesleyan coming away with a victory today, they'll move to 12-2. Milliken with a victory over Augustana would be 11-3. So they're still in that striking distance to get that 1 or 2. So again, if you're playing the numbers, North Central can't catch up if Milliken wins. Augustana can't catch up. If you're a Carthage fan, you got to kind of hope. Again, these are all what-if scenarios, but you got to hope that Milliken doesn't have much to play for, doesn't have seeding to play for. Edwards, left-hand 3, rattles around, no good.
And you wonder with Wesleyan if they, not that you can adjust your seeding, but the 2 games they've lost against Milliken, that would be a team that, like, hey, if there's a way that we can see them later in the tournament if we can.
Yeah.
And if you're Milliken, hey, it's like, we've matched up against them so well. We're the only team to beat them in conference.
Yeah, and also if you look at Wheaton, that one no good. Wheaton is on a 3-game losing streak in their own respect. Not only that, they are 1 win for their last 6 games. Lost to Augustana, lost to North Central. They defeated Augustana their second time around. Lost to Wesleyan, lost to Milliken, lost to Carroll. This is kind of a reeling Wheaton team right now. So again, that potentially bodes well for this Firebird squad.
My last free throw, Illinois was excited to not give up the double miss cheese curd.
Yeah.
Although I would say, hey, Titans, those coupons get passed around. I think you might get,
Yeah, I have still not the last one I got, I gave to somebody else that was here, and I said, are they leaving before me? So I handed it off. Have you redeemed any before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Who doesn't love a free curd in the land of cheese?
Yeah, that's one thing my picky son will eat.
Is cheese.
That man likes anything fried.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially cheese curds. He's a true Wisconsinite in that regard.
Have they watched the new show? I think it's called Super Kitties.
Oh yeah. Bitsy, Sparks. I know about those guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the episode with the cheese song, where they just yell like cheese, cheese?
I think you're talking about that lab rat.
Yes.
Hey, Malia Green to the hoop.
Malia Green, founding member of the fan club right here. How about it? 7 points for Green.
A little extra cheese on the take to the hoop there. And this has definitely been a better 8 minutes for the Firebirds.
Well, the law of averages started playing itself. Wesleyan wasn't shooting, 70% from the field. Cord comes away with the steal. Looks for Pekaski.
Yeah, Cord looking to feed her teammate there, but another steal by Wesleyan. Well, one thing that does happen is when you take some of the offensive leaders for Wesleyan out, but hey, Carthage, you just want to be better than whoever's on the. And so it seems like they have been able to do that. It's like a floating layup there. That was a tough shot to hit it right off the middle of the backboard.
Look at that, Malik. The count of Monte Fisto. Floater with the right hand.
Green with 9 here.
You have to look at some of those numbers now. It's one thing I really appreciate about, the ability to call these Carthage games. They have so much fun here at Tarble. Great institution.
What do you know?
Oh, boy. I'm not going to lie.
She was 0 for 7 from 3 until that one.
Emma Kornick from the senior level. My goodness. Green drives in, Euro step, tries to float it, cord board, back to Green, right hand. Malia Green putting on a show. Shooter's gonna shoot.
Nice dish there to Malia to open her up. But yeah, it's it's comical really that anybody coming in here for Wesleyan knocking down threes, even if they haven't hit one in the season.
Cord kicks out to Pekaski. You know, when Pekaski first came back from her injury, she was getting, and you know this, she was getting some significant minutes. But again, just, you know, who knows where things went. Cord looks for it. No good. Offensive board. Up and under and good. Number 11, Mary Titzer. Wesleyan hits the 90 mark. They're not going to hit 100. Carthage, very respectable fourth quarter. Firebirds going to come away with a loss. Season high for Malia Green was 8, so she beat her season high. Folks, don't go anywhere. Not only is it a doubleheader with the men playing next, post-game show in between that. So in a few minutes, Coach Jones is going to join us up here in the nest. Not only a season high, but career high for Malia Green right here in senior day. Bright future for her and the rest of the Firebird squad. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Post-game show on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
Thank you for coming out to attend today's basketball game. Be sure to check out athletics.carthage.edu for the most up-to-date information on the Firebirds' participation in the CCIW basketball tournament. Your Carthage Firebirds men's basketball team is up next, so don't go away.
Welcome into the postgame show here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Your final 93-66. Joining us now up in the booth is Coach Jones. Coach, of course, tough one against them, but the fourth quarter, a lot of resolve. Everybody really stepped up. It was still, you still got so much momentum to take things home. Talk us through what happened today.
Yeah, I mean, we let them go on a huge run in the second quarter. They had like 4 threes in a row, the same player. Obviously, that hurt us big time. We competed through the first quarter. But in the first half, we had 14 turnovers and only had 7 in the second half. So I think that was a little bit of a difference maker. We just didn't take care of the ball very well. But like you said, that fourth quarter, I was proud that we kept fighting. Like, we had a choice there. I kept saying that in the huddle. And we kept fighting, which is what we need to do.
Yeah, on senior night, what is something, I know you've just been here for a year, but what is something you've noticed about the seniors you've had around the team this year? What kind of impact have they made on the team?
Yeah, I think, we talked about just, preaching culture so much, and those seniors have given a lot to the program over the years. So thankful for all of that, and especially in my first year or two, just to have the opportunity to coach them was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, Ebeling career high, Green career high. Those are fun celebrations you guys get to have, like a game like today.
Yeah, obviously we wish the outcome was different for our last home game of the year. But there were some bright spots at times. It's just we have to get defensive stops. They're a really, really good team. They shoot it really, really well, obviously. And so not getting matched up in transition was tough, and we gave up some big threes there. But we still fought, and that's what mattered at the end.
Just to end here, it's been an honor for us to call your home games this year. We're looking forward to your future with the squad. You still have a mathematical chance at the postseason. You win 2, and you could be in. Talk us through what the mindset's going to be this next week.
We do. We keep talking about that, and of like, why not us?
Yeah.
And we need to have that mentality. It's not over. But it's not even about that. It's just about playing well and doing the things that we've been emphasizing as of late. And that's what we're focused on, because if we rebound well, if we take care of the ball, if we get defensive stops, then we're in a position to win anyways, and that takes care of itself. Awesome.
Well, Coach, good luck rest of the way. We'll be cheering you on from afar, and congrats on a fun first season here at Tarble.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Coach.
Right. Coach Jones there on the post-game show. Again, like we discussed with her. Yes, you're going to scoreboard watch, but if you take care of business against Milliken, if you take care of business against a reeling Wheaton team right now, why not us? Like she said, you're in that 6th seed and anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what she just mentioned there is like you just want to play well. We want to get defensive stops.
Yeah.
And, when you can do that, you kind of let the cards fall where they may, and you just want to, end the season with your head held high, and hopefully the Birds can get those last 2 and make it interesting.
All right, well, we're going to take a timeout. We thank you for joining us in this first one. We'll take a breath, maybe 2. Men's game coming your way shortly. For executive producer Mike Love, producer John Voinovich, the rest of the staff and crew, outstanding job as always. Matt, Laura, Ryder, Joe, Sophia, and Mark, directing graphics, replay, and camera. Outstanding job today and all season. This program has been a presentation of Firebird Broadcast Productions and Carthage College. Copyright 2024. Thank you for joining us. Senior Day on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.